Hi, this is Jarrett.
And this is Eli.
And this is JetsChat. So, you want to talk first? Because I was just going to tell you what we're going to talk about a little bit
Okay,
here.
then why don't you start?
So we'll talk a little bit about we're going to talk a little bit about the Jets, and we're going to talk a little bit about the game coming up against the Patriots and how we feel at the end. We'll talk about at the end. We'll wrap up kind of who we think is going to win, and we'll maybe say what we think the score is going to be. That'll be a little bit interesting. See the differences. Yeah. Anyway, so you want to start a little bit?
So I'm going to start talking about the matchup against the Patriots, where I think what we need to go right to win, what I think will happen, et cetera, et cetera. I think in order to win the game, I think our line needs to hold up. I really do. I think Zach Wilson has a lot of grit to him. I think he really has that it factor. The problem is when he has 1 second in the pocket and he doesn't have time to set his feet, he can't make a throw. So
and now Becton's
Becton.
But I think that's going to be well. So here's the thing. So first of all, I'm assuming they're going to put Moses in right tackle, right? That's no?
Yeah. I guess they'll put because when Becton was injured, they moved Fant to left and Moses went at right,
and actually looked better.
Yes, Moses looked much better at right tackle
because I think he belongs there. I don't know why Fant to me is a backup, not a starter, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So it might help a little bit. So now hopefully we can lock in Moses and poor Becton. I don't know. I don't think he's going to last in the NFL. I don't think he's meant to play football. But we'll talk about that a little bit. I'll let you talk.
Anyways, a little bit. I think the offensive line really needs to hold up because if they do, then I think our run game could start going. And if our run game gets going, that makes room for the passing game. You cannot have a good passing game without a running game. It just doesn't work. There's only one team that has done that, and that is the Kansas City Chiefs. I do not know how they do it, but they do it. We are not them.
Yeah, you're right. You got to build in the trenches. If you don't have a front line, right, an offensive line, you can't do anything else. You can't run, and that you could set everything up. So the quarterback doesn't have time to throw. Quarterback doesn't have time to throw. You can't run the ball. Everything is just a catastrophe. And plus, he's not going to last long if he keeps on getting tackled. You're right.
I'm really nervous about him getting injured. But I think Zach Wilson's also very important this week because he's facing arguably the greatest defensive mind, like coach of all time in Bill Belichick, who has just. Have a flashback to 2019, Darnold. I'm seeing ghosts game. Do you remember all those advanced coverages that he ran in the blitzes and the fake blitzes and all the fake coverages? And Sam Darnold, as a young quarterback, completely did not know what was going on.
I still don't think Darnold knows what's going on. So no. I don't want to use Darnold as an example.
Anyways, Zach Wilson has played one NFL game, right? He does not know NFL coverages. As good as I think a quarterback he will be or could be or potential, whatever. He just doesn't have the experience. I think you can agree on that. Yes. I think everyone can. He just doesn't have the experience against advanced. Listen, at BYU, they're playing these guards. Even Alabama doesn't run these complex coverages that the New England Patriots run about Belichick and just NFL defenses. So I think even the Panthers did that, right? If you think back to week 1, the Panthers ran a bit more complex defenses that took Zach Wilson by surprise, especially in the first half of the game. It took him a bit to adjust to the NFL defenses.
Well, let's talk about let's talk about little things. So we got a couple players injured, right? That are not who's not going to be in. Let's talk about like Cashman.
Okay, well, so Cashman, but he's useless.
He keeps the bench warm.
I not even.
I guarantee you, Cashman will not. I'm telling you, we're having this conversation. He will be cut in the offseason. I am telling you, this is his 3rd year. He can't stay on the field. He was a 5th-round draft pick, right?
Yes.
He has. It's not like he's a first where people are just going to hope for potential on him. I mean, he just can't stay on the field, and you just can't have a player that's not going to stay on the field. So I am telling you, do not be surprised. I'm telling you, he's going to get cut by the offseason. Who else? So we got.
So he's gone.
So we don't have him. Not that that's much. Becton, which we discussed.
Yes.
And as you just said, we have to see if he needs surgery or not.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I heard this news that Saleh said that if he does need surgery, that it could be a season-ending injury. If he does, they're still waiting on a second opinion from another doctor. If they get a second opinion, then it's only out like 4 to 6 weeks.
I think he'll have a longer career than Cashman, but not much longer than that.
Well, Cashman was drafted a year ahead. But anyways, then Braden Mann's out for a few weeks. By the way, I think I saw a stat. Only NFL play in history where the punter got injured and the penalty was called on the team that the punter was on. We got called for the penalty, even though our punter was the one injured.
But now we got a better punter. I mean, he was just
Well, Amendola's not the punter.
I know, but I'm just saying when he was playing punter.
Amendola has never.
The guy was just on fire. I mean, he's just.
He's never punted in a professional game, whether it was high school or college. He's never punted in a single game,
and he was just dominated. I don't know what to tell you about that, but
he's not a punter.
Maybe he got diamond in the rough. Who knows? I mean.
He's not punter.
I don't know what he is, but he's looking really good.
Well, he's been looking good at kicking in training camp. Hopefully, we found ourselves a kicker.
Yeah. But so we got
we signed Thomas Morstead, the longtime punter for the New Orleans Saints, Super Bowl winner, with that great special teams unit that New Orleans had for a few years. So hopefully he can play well. I mean, he has been out of the league for a year, but hopefully. And then I'm pretty sure that's all the major injuries we've had, if I'm correct.
Yes.
I do also want to say one stat that doesn't really.
There was somebody else who was injured. There are 4 players who were injured. I feel like there are 4,
but none of them were influential. Like those.
No.
Anyways,
Becton was the only one that was influential.
I wanted to move a bit. I wanted just to quickly talk about someone's performance at the Panthers that went underrated that no one seems to be talking about on the Jets. Sheldon Rankins, the defensive tackle, led all interior defensive linemen in the NFL, more than Aaron Donald in pass rush win rate. He had the highest in the NFL by 2%. Aaron Donald had 57%. Sheldon Rankins had 60%.
That's why we got him.
Also, Quinnen Williams had, I'm pretty sure, 6 pressures from the inside, which was 3rd in the league in pressures from interior linemen. And he played 24 snaps, which is 43rd for snaps. So he also had a very high percentage.
And I think as this season goes along, I think they're going to gel more and more and get better and better and better. So let's see here. So we talking about this. So this is a tough matchup. It's the good thing. It's a home game, right? It's in
a home opener.
Yeah. I don't really want to go down 0-2. I mean, it's just every.
It's gonna happen.
I know, but I'm hoping. Don't forget. On the other side is yes, it is New England, and nobody's arguing. Great coach, great team, but they do got a rookie quarterback. They're going to be in the same. I don't care.
So do we.
Yes. And how many rookie quarterbacks go to the playoffs and win? Right. I'm just saying, he put all his apples in. If he wanted to win now, I would have went with Cam Newton. That's my philosophy.
I disagree.
You just don't win now with a rookie quarterback.
You don't win now with Cam Newton.
It may be better. I'm not saying I'm not arguing that Mac Jones is the better quarterback in the long term, and in 2 or 3 years from now, it was a good decision to go to Mac Jones. So I'm not arguing that. I'm saying if you wanted to win right now and have a chance for the playoffs, you go with Cam Newton. If you want somebody who's going to be potentially in 2 or 3 years of experience, just like Wilson and stuff like that, we're in the same boat as them. He still is a rookie quarterback, okay? And he's from Alabama. So, yes, I still think New England's probably going to win the game. I'm not kind of arguing that. I think they're, the coaching staff and this team is just better. But they're not going to go. They're not going to go 10-7 with Mac Jones as a rookie. They're going to lose games. So we have a shot, and it's in New York.
Well, Mac Jones isn't the prototypical rookie quarterback, and the fact that he's not. Listen. He is like the most game manager rookie quarterback I have seen in a while. I've never seen a rookie quarterback be as much of a game manager as he is. He had a very high completion percentage.
Whip-de-doo-dah.
Not a lot of yards.
He's a rookie. He's a rookie game manager.
He's a game manager, and that's what New England needs to win games. Not Cam Newton.
How many games do you think they're going to win with him? What are you thinking?
I think 9-10 is a fair range.
You think they're going to win 9-10 with Mac Jones?
Yes, I do. I am a big fan of Mac Jones. Opposite of, I just want to make this clear. Obviously see.
Listen, I don't know what Mac Jones is going to be. I have no idea. I'm not saying he could be a bust or he could be a decently. I think he's in a good system. He's with a good coach. I think that helps him a lot. I think if he was in a lot of other teams, I think he wouldn't be good. But I think he has a shot with New England. So I'm not saying anything but he still is a rookie. And you just don't have rookies going 9 or 10 wins.
I feel differently about the situation because I am high on Mac Jones. I'm higher than I would say most. I think he's a very intelligent.
So you think they'll lose 7 games? You don't think the Jets can beat them 1 game?
The Jets are not good enough to win 7 games. I think maybe 5-6.
So the New England's going to sweep them.
Probably, yeah. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they win it. Who do they beat in the division?
I feel like they're going to win New England this week. I got a feeling. Could be wrong. I got a feeling.
You watch the Carolina.
I got a feeling. I got a feeling they're going to win this one. I feel all the butterflies are going to come out.
You got a feeling they were going to go 9-8 before the year.
Yes, and I'm still sticking with that. And that's a rookie quarterback, right? So I'm saying the same thing. So if you're Mac Jones, you can say the same thing as New England. Can they do it? I mean, honestly, chances are they're not, right? I mean,
Okay, I just want to next week in our next podcast, we're gonna come back to this. Okay,
they're gonna win.
They are not going to win against the New England Patriots. I'm very sorry. I think their first win will come against Denver in Week 3. We'll talk about that next week after the game and stuff. But I personally think they'll beat Denver. But I don't see how they do it. Okay, let's look at the matchup. Let's look at the matchup. Okay, quarterback. Let's put away quarterback. They're both rookie quarterbacks. Offensive line.
Wilson.
New
better.
England.
I'm done.
New England.
Okay. I don't think.
Okay, let's go through the.
Wilson. I think Wilson's going to be a much better quarterback than Matt.
Okay,
you said he's.
I don't disagree with you.
Okay, so
I'm not disagreeing with you.
That's a very important check off. Check. Boop.
Coach, it doesn't matter. Have you seen against Carolina? He played pretty well. And
yes. So I'm going to say. Well, if you want, you said let's look at the matchups.
Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Hold on.
Quarterback Jets, coach New England. Correct.
Okay, offensive line New England, wide receivers. They're. I think Corey Davis is the best receiver out of the bunch, but I think the Patriots have. I said that's about even.
Not even, okay.
Because I think the Patriots have better depth, but I don't think they have as good of a receiver as Corey Davis. Tight end by far and away goes to New England. They have Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Then that's it. And then running backs, I would say by far Patriots. What are you looking at? Anyways, defensive line, I think New England. I think linebackers, New England. Corners, New England. Safety, New England. Special teams, New England. I think Zach Wilson's the only player that's better than Mac Jones, and it's gonna be brutal. I'm telling you,
they're gonna win.
They are not going to win.
All right. Well, let's now mention what do you think the score is gonna be then? Give me the score.
Okay. I think the Jets improve from last week and score 21 points. And I think New England edges it out with 24. Actually, no, scratch that. 27. 27-21 New England.
All right, I'm going to say 27 Jets, 24 New England. 27 Jets. Jets win by 27-24.
I don't think the Jets can score 27 points in a game. I think 21's a stretch, but
they're doing it. I'm telling you. You're gonna apologize to me after the game.
Okay, if they do win, I will come out the next episode and publicly apologize for doing him wrong, and I was completely incorrect, and he's right about everything. I will come out.
This is what I want to hear.
Next podcast. Next podcast. If that happens, I will gladly come on this podcast next week and say that. Okay, I think that's fair because that is not going to happen.
This is it. They're not going 0-2. I'm telling you. I got a feeling. Like that song.
Rookie quarterback, rookie coach, really bad offensive line, not good wide receivers, not good tight end, bad defense. Where do you see it? Where do you see the wins? Tell me. Where do you see the wins?
I just told you they're going to kick butt 27-24 Jets. Write it down.
Okay. Explain to me how they're going to win. Like, tell me how. Like, what are they going to? How? Like, what are they going to do to beat New England?
What do you mean how? They throw the ball.
No,
Wilson throws the ball and a guy catches it.
That's not what I'm saying.
Runs down the field.
What's going to happen?
I don't say. What do you mean? You want to call the plays?
No,
I don't understand what you're.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, what do you think why the Jets? What's the reason? Like, what are the Jets going to be good at? Like, what are they going to be better than New England at?
It's not about that. I just think it's in the it's home field advantage. I think Wilson is a better quarterback. I think he's going to come out strong. Okay. I think he had a little bit of butterflies in his stomach the first half. I think he settled down. I think they're all going to settle down. I think the offensive line is actually better because I think you got Moses where he belongs, puts that front there.
Becton's much better than Fant, though.
Becton is much better, but he's like butter. He just can't stay on the field. Does he play a full game? Every time I watch him, he's getting injured in a game. Does he actually play a full game?
I do not know. But
I mean, he is not designed to be an NFL player. He's a great left tackle. But he's not. Listen, I was just telling you in the car. Just because he's very talented, but some people are just not built for in and out day-to-day football. And I seen enough of him. Every time I turn around, he gets injured. He's just whether he's too big or whether his joints are just not right. That's just the way it works. And there's always an excuse of why he gets injured, but he can't stay on the field. Now maybe he's having really bad luck the past year and a half. If that's your argument, okay, we'll see. But I'm telling you, I just feel like every time he gets on, he's going to be injured, and 3 or 4 years from now, he'll get traded to another team or and then somebody will pick him up because he has potential, and then he'll just disappear because he just can't stay on the field. I don't want to count Becton because if he can't stay on the field, I can't count him as a player in the offensive line.
I want to combat that take, okay? Let's look at his injury history. He said technically four injuries, okay? Concussion in training camp. Whatever. I mean, that's nothing. Who cares about that?
It is something. I mean, it's not nothing.
It's in training camp that didn't really hold him out. It held him out for like a week.
But the point is, he's had multiple injuries.
Listen, let's analyze.
He's only played a little bit over a year.
Let's analyze the injuries, okay? Right? Starting from the first injury, shoulder. Okay, that he had a shoulder injury that was supposed to be a short thing, but Adam Gase rushed him in and it lingered. Okay, and the shoulder doesn't have to do with the weight. Okay, then the next one was a knee injury. Right.
One time he had a rib. I'm telling you, he had a rib injury. I remember he had a rib injury.
Rib was shoulder. That's the one.
No, it was a rib thing. It was short, but he had rib bruising. I remember that one too.
It was the same. It was the same injury. No. That's what it was at first. You know, I remember, and then it came out that it was just that injury that was lingering.
Yeah, it's all lingering.
And then he had that one knee injury. Okay, I'm not going to defend that. That was an injury. Then this year, okay, his knee joint popped out of place or whatever. If you watch the play, you very obviously see the defender's head rolling into his knee, which caused it to buckle. What? I don't understand how that's his fault. That happened.
It's not his fault. It's not like he's doing something wrong.
That's not what I mean. I'm saying it's not
his body's not built to handle that type of trauma. You know, certain people, their bodies are just much more flexible. Their joints are more flexible. They can handle the rolls. And other people, their joints are just much more stiffer, and they can't handle the shifting of the weight. And so he's just a big guy. His body's just not built to play the NFL. Okay? And you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. I can tell you right now, I feel pretty good about this after I feel pretty good about this after about a year and one game that he just can't stand. Now, he just if it was just one injury that he just had to keep dealing, okay, that's one, but it's this injury, that injury, this injury, that injury. He half the time he's tired. They pull him out all the time on a couple of games last year. I remember he was like exhausted or something.
No. His injury was.
No, it was always injuries. Okay, well, whatever you want to say. But anyway, we'll see what happens, Sam. So
listen,
I want to see how the offensive line happens without him because I don't count him. Because to me, my philosophy is I know what's going to end up happening with him. He's going to be in and out of the lineup for like 2-3 more years, and then he's just going to disappear. And he's going to be one of those picks that what could have been if he stayed healthy. He's going to be one of those players.
Yes.
So I want to see what the offensive line. I want the offensive line to gel without him because I don't see him as a long-term player. I just don't. I think it's going to be a bust of a pick. I think it's going to end up being a bust of a pick. I think he's a top left tackle as far as talent-wise. So I'm not arguing that.
Yes.
If anyone wants to argue that, I will top left tackle. And it's not his fault that he can't stay on the field. It's his body. But I don't care how great of a player you are. That's why it doesn't matter how great you are. If you don't play, I don't care. I mean, it doesn't matter. Right? He's as effective as you are on the New York Jets right now. Right? Can you help them win?
No.
Can he help them win sitting on the bench all the time? No.
Okay.
Actually, he's worse because you got to pay him. Well,
okay,
we don't have to pay you.
Listen, we can argue about this for hours.
So, yeah.
We've talked. We have a little time, and I want to talk about I want to ask you about.
Yes, boss.
This. Okay. So we talked about Mac Jones a bit. Talked about Zach Wilson a bit. I want to talk briefly about the other rookie quarterback to start, Trevor Lawrence. What did you think about Trevor Lawrence?
I didn't watch him, so I don't want to think about anything.
Okay.
I didn't watch him, so
So, as a Jets fan, I'm going to coddle myself to sleep with the fact that I think Zach Wilson is better than Trevor Lawrence. No, but
I know his stats. I know what he had 3 turnovers. He had 2 touchdowns
at times. Okay,
so I didn't watch the game, so to say I don't want to.
Okay,
but that's one game. I don't want to. Yeah, me and you obviously we're biased. We're both Jets fans, right?
Yes.
Everybody is with it, and we had this conversation before. We both believe that Wilson's going to be the better quarterback. Both of us do, and I'm not arguing that. You know what'll be interesting to see at the end of the season. That's a good conversation. I want to be fair to all the quarterbacks.
Yes.
And I don't want to say because he had one bad game. Let's see what happens after game 17, or after by game 8, whatever you want to do. After the 17th game, like after the full season, how do both quarterbacks look as rookies? As I said, Peyton Manning, right? He went 3-13, but he looked good, but he wasn't winning. So it's not the wins that we really got to go about. It's does he look like an NFL quarterback?
Yeah.
So I just want to be fair. I want to
say one thing though. I want to see one thing. He made some throws where I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy is definitely he deserves to be the first overall pick without a doubt. His arm is just incredible. Yeah. Then he also had some decision making issues, and I'm like, what went through your head? Are you a 6th round pick? So highs and lows, just like the other quarterbacks. Zach Wilson also highs and lows.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so let's just wrap up this podcast. And I was saying, so we both are on the same page. I think as far as we think it's going to be a close game. They both have rookie quarterbacks. You can say that New England is a right now a better coach team because I think that's fair. It's Bill Belichick, but the Jets have home field advantage, which is something. Home field advantage is something. Got travel and stuff like that. So the Jets have home field advantage. They both have rookie quarterbacks. New England is probably going to be better coached.
It's a much better roster. Much better roster.
Okay, I'm not arguing that. I think Jets need this win more because they've already lost the first game, right? So they're going to come out a little stronger.
Patriots did too.
Oh, that's right, they did too. Yeah, they're going to. So, but we're both close, right? We're both kind of in the same. I said 27-24 Jets. You said 27-21.
Neither of these teams have the capability of cracking 30 points.
We both don't think one team's going to blow the other team out. It's going to be a close game. Obviously, I'm picking the Jets. You're picking the Patriots. We'll see what happens. And we'll talk. We'll do a little quick podcast. We'll get a podcast done right after the game. As I said, that podcast will be about 5 to 10 minutes, and that's going to be our pretty much routine. We're going to try to do one 5 to 10 minute, post game, what we think about the game. Either one or both of us will do that. Depends on who's available at the time. And then we'll always do about a half an hour to 40 minute podcast, just talking about what's going on with the next week, football game, and whatever issue that we have on our mind, whatever we want to complain about. That's pretty much it.
That's
I guess like and subscribe, right? What do you want to?
If you enjoy our content, go ahead and like and subscribe. And don't forget to comment down below if you have any opinions on what we say. Any if you disagree with us, if you do agree with us, write it down below. Tell us. We'll respond.
Yes, we will always respond. If anybody has any questions, write it down there. We will read any questions
or any requests.
Any responses. That's the point of this. It's supposed to be, we could just talk about the Jets. So please, write down something. We love to hear stuff. It could be negative, positive. We don't care. We won't take offense to anything. But anyway, so this is Jarrett.
And this is Eli.
And this is Jets Chat. See you in a little bit.